inside the Great Pyramid of Giza. Behind these gigantic chevrons above the main entrance, for the first time,
this discovery, in my opinion, is the most important discovery on the 21st century.
From anomalies under the sand to flooded temples and carvings, these newly uncovered secrets about ancient Egypt will blow your mind. Up first is the observatory. This year, a stunning discovery was made in the Buto Temple at the Tel El Farain archaeological site. A strange L-shaped structure which initially seemed to have no purpose. It turned out to be a mud brick observatory designed to observe the stars and keep track of important agricultural, celestial, and religious dates. The observatory also contained a very large slanted stone sundial, one of the largest of its kind ever discovered. This discovery has revealed more of the incredible knowledge and sophistication of the ancient Egyptians and what they had access to. These discoveries were some 2,500 years old and also included the discovery of several storage rooms alongside numerous artifacts and religious items. One is a statue from the 26th dynasty depicting a ruler or god, while others include measuring tools and numerous pieces of religious and everyday pottery. Some of these shards of pottery will have food residue on them as well, which will give an excellent look into Egyptian diets and religious practices. Next is the Golden Necropolis. A necropolis is almost like a city for the dead, a series of tombs and monuments that make up a large cemetery. A recent expedition would uncover a brand new series of 63 tombs from more than 2,500 years ago. Within the tombs were discovered funerary amulets used to provide charms and spells to the spirits of the deceased, as well as Ushabti statues which had a similar purpose. Several bronze coins were also recovered, but the really shocking part of this discovery was just how much gold was uncovered within these tombs. Some occupants were wrapped in gold foil or had gold imprints of gods and stories to carry with them. Many of the amulets were gold as well, and the sheer number of exorbitant grave goods indicates that these tombs were the homes of the highly wealthy members of ancient Egyptian society. This strikes a clear boundary between the wealthy and the poor, as their grave goods are often very different. This Golden Necropolis is an especially exciting discovery, not only revealing more information about the wealth stratification in ancient Egypt, but also the importance of the city of Damietta in the ancient Egyptian trade system. Through these discoveries of various artifacts from various different nations, researchers have discovered that Damietta was far more important in ancient international trade than previously thought. Next is the anomaly under the sand. A strange L-shaped anomaly was discovered under the sand in Giza by a joint Japanese-Egyptian investigation team. They went into a seemingly empty section of the Mastaba tombs in Giza, only to discover, using ground-penetrating scanning technology, a strange anomaly under the sand in what seems to be a blank space. There looked to be a structure underneath the surface, one that couldn't be a natural formation given the very unnatural right angles detected by the scanner. The surrounding structures, including the pyramids of kings Khufu and Khafre, are some 4,500 years old. It's very possible that this newly discovered anomaly is a structure even older than even these ancient constructions. Whatever the structure is, it has likely since been flooded with sand. Some researchers posited that it may be a backfill hole where dirt and sand from the other constructions was dumped, but this seems to be in conflict with the other anomalous discovery made at the same location, a chamber about 10 meters under the surface, seemingly connected to this sand-filled L-shaped anomaly. So could this possibly be an even older structure that collapsed and was then left to ruin? What fascinating artifacts could be held within? Next is the burial mask. In the famed Saqqara necropolis, researchers made another stunning discovery, a tomb carved from bedrock over 4,000 years ago and containing some pretty interesting artifacts. This tomb contained a brilliantly decorated sarcophagus, which also had a brightly painted and enigmatic grave mask. Nearby was an alabaster vessel used to hold an unknown substance, as well as a stela carrying an inscription which said that it was for a man named Heroid. Within the graves were also two terracotta statues of the goddess Isis and the young god Harpocrates. There was also a small tomb from the 2nd dynasty, making it one of the oldest discoveries at the site. This wealth of new discoveries is only a small part of the recent archaeological explosion modern Egypt is seeing. Saqqara is a UNESCO World Heritage Site and contains such incredible structures as the pyramids of Giza, and yet this location still has not unveiled all it has to offer. Next are the Aswan tombs. Recently, a stunning discovery was made on a hillside in Aswan, the heart of ancient Egypt's Mediterranean trade. More than 30 ancient tombs were discovered belonging to wealthy merchants, traders, and artisans dating from the Phoenician Greek period. These tombs were a truly stunning find, and though the occupants were not as ornately wrapped as a pharaoh, they are all mummified with great care. More concerningly, not all the tombs had one or two people in them. Some had entire families, which was an emotional find for the archaeologists. Later study of the DNA present in the bodies revealed that many of them were infected with tuberculosis and likely passed in close order with each other as a plague swept through this ancient city. This site continues to be excavated and continues to reveal fascinating artifacts from the ancient period. Canopic vessels and jars, amphorae, art, offering tables, and more were all uncovered. This discovery has been massively helpful in giving us a better view of life for the less than elite in ancient Egypt, and will be studied heavily for years to come. Still, the disturbing discovery of entire mummified families has stuck with many who discovered it. And finally, the Nile carvings. A joint French-Egyptian team recently uncovered some pretty shocking discoveries within the Nile River. The Nile is home to all sorts of admittedly dangerous creatures, including hippos and Nile crocodiles, which all had to be contended with while the investigation was ongoing. But despite the dangers of nature, these archaeologists were able to uncover some truly stunning pieces. They found several shockingly well-preserved stone carvings depicting several Egyptian pharaohs, along with a sizable chunk of hieroglyphic text. Currently, researchers are filming and photographing all the objects to then create a 3D scan of them for further study. It's thought removing the carvings from the water may end up causing them more harm and degradation, and so until it's necessary to recover them and possible to do so safely, they will remain under the Nile's waters. Those were ancient Egypt's civilization secrets uncovered by archaeologists in 2024. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.